What's shaking, everybody? You're listening to Improv Tabletop, a show where we usually do RPG stuff, but we also do a lot of weird, archaic, ancient choose-your-own-adventure books, and it's been a while since we've done one of those. Anyway, I'm Ned Wilcock, your host and person who's going to do a lot of reading, and today I'm joined by...
Caleb Anderton, jonesing for an adventure.
Jay Porter, and I'm ready to go on an adventure with Dr. Jones!
Yes. Taking just a little bit of a break from our Tension Builders campaign because it's been a while since we've done a Choose Your Own Adventure book on the main feed, and we were gifted ever so graciously by one of our friends over on the Discord, Scott Giant Jr. It's in a certain sense kind of an Indiana Jones-like escapade to go into the book section of a thrift store and just dig through all of the old dusty tomes in there and come out with some gold. And oh boy, did he come out with some gold.
And thank you to that. Well, we'll see after this campaign if this is worth the read. Thank you, but thank you.
We'll see if the thanks are warranted.
Yeah.
Yes, we have received 3 Indiana Jones Find Your Fate books from the 80s.
Oh yeah.
And the one that we're going to be going through today is Indiana Jones and the Cult of the Mummy's Crypt by R.L. Stine, in fact.
Oh boy.
Wow.
Now, one of the things that's really interesting about the fact that this book is written by R.L. Stine, this book was published in 1985, and the first Goosebumps book was published in 92, I want to say.
I was going to say, that was such a big thing in elementary school, was Goosebumps, and I was not allowed to read them. I'm not, looking back, I'm okay with that, but they were like a huge thing. They were like, people would bring them in like Pokemon cards. Like, there'd be stacks of these books and trading them and stuff.
Jay, I had the exact same experience. I was also not allowed to read them, so I've seen so many of them, and I've never read one.
So this is... For both of us, this is going to be our first R.L. Stine book.
Yeah.
For all 3 of us, in fact,
All
this is going to be our first.
Yes.
Now, for me, it's not that I wasn't allowed to read them. Very much by choice, I did not read them because I was so freaked out as a child.
I mean, I don't like horror material that much, so I'm not, but like...
I don't either. I wasn't upset by the fact that I wasn't allowed to read them.
Mm-hmm.
But this is very much peering back into history with good old R.L. Stine. It wasn't the first book that he published. He published many, many books before this, but 7 years before the series that brought him his most fame.
Dang.
That's pretty cool.
And so let's get into this story, The Cult of the Mummy's Crypt. Egypt, the ancient and mysterious land of priceless treasures, is the latest destination in your adventurous journeys with Indiana Jones, TM. Your mission is to retrieve 2 ancient mummies stolen from the National Museum. This quest is doubly dangerous, for your opponents are the members of a strange cult that has existed for over 1,000 years. You'll face great danger everywhere you turn, from killer crocodiles to fatal felines and more. Ooh. You will choose your actions and decide your fate by following the direction on the bottom of the page. Are you up to the task? You better be, because only the right choices will get you home safely. The wrong choices are too scary to contemplate. Ooh. This is R.L. Stine we're talking about, after all.
Just remember, the Jehovah's spelled with an I.
Correct, in the original Latin. All right, Cairo, Egypt, June 1934. Okay, for some reason, here's the part where I admit that I have never actually watched any of the Indiana Jones movies.
Oh, what?
I didn't know that they happened so long ago. 1934?
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
The main villains are all Nazis.
Indiana Jones fights Nazis.
Okay, that does make sense now.
Yeah.
The pieces are falling together in my sorely uninformed brain.
Ned.
You need to watch those movies. I was Indiana Jones for Halloween like 6 times.
I was Indiana Jones for Halloween last Halloween.
Dang,
Ned,
see?
You at least gotta watch Raiders of the Lost Ark and The Last Crusade. You can skip the others.
Yes, those are like the most worth it of the movies.
Those 2.
Yeah.
But we're not worrying about like Christian theology in any of this. We're getting into Egyptian theology with this adventure.
Sounds good.
So, Cairo, Egypt, June 1934. "Watch out, kid," Indiana Jones yells. You leap out of the way as a camel caravan comes pounding through the narrow street. The camels, laden with bulging straw baskets of dates and figs, gallop past, kicking up a thick cloud of dust that floats toward the crowded outdoor market across from you. You turn your head away from the dust. Behind you, you see a purple-domed mosque surrounded by a low brick wall. Bearded men in long, colorful caftans push past you, ignoring the dust. We're a long way from home, kid, Indy says, lifting his battered hat to scratch his head. If your parents knew I dragged you here, they'd murder me. Well, they wanted me to have an exciting summer vacation, you tell your cousin. Oh, we are Indiana Jones's cousin, apparently.
Wow.
I was going to say, quick side note, this is probably a childhood dream of mine. To have Indiana Jones come and be like, hey, kid, come on with me on an adventure.
Heck yeah.
Yes, to be a young flat cap wearing lad going all around the world with your cousin, apparently Indiana Jones.
I mean, heck, I'd do it right now if he was, as a 37-year-old lad.
Let's see. Okay, the parents wanted me to have an exciting summer vacation. That's why they sent me to stay with you. Indy grins and begins to walk quickly up the crowded street. A veiled woman dressed in black passes by quickly. She turns her eyes away from yours. This is going to be very educational, you tell Indy, struggling to keep up with him and not lose him in the crowd. You didn't realize just how educational it's going to be. Turn to page 2. Kawomp! A concrete boulder hits the street and shatters just a few inches from you.
Oh, wow. Okay.
We're getting right into it here.
We're getting right into it. We're getting concrete boulders in the middle of the city? Dang.
Yeah, in the middle of broad daylight, squinting against the bright sun, you and Indy both look up. There is someone standing on the flat roof of a 5-story building, the tallest on the street. He is holding another boulder above his head, and he's about to toss it down onto you. Kawomp! This is one strong dude we got up on top of this building.
Yeah.
Jeez.
This one lands even closer. The narrow street echoes with the screams of men and women as they run to get out of the way. A cart overturns, spilling its load of oranges, which tumble and roll past your feet. What's going on? You shout. Someone's trying to deliver a message to us, Indy says, and I don't think it's welcome to Egypt. What's your next move? Do we try to get up to the roof and confront this guy, or do we duck into the nearest building to get out of the line of fire?
Oh.
We gotta chase this guy, right?
I know. I'm like, okay, I'm thinking if you've ever been to the Disney World, like Indiana Jones live thing, and then they like climb and they show you do it. That's what I'm thinking right now. We need to go climb that building. There's going to be a cushion that when they push us off,
Yeah, there'll be a nice, what's the name for that? Not an ottoman. An awning. That's what
awning, yes.
That's the word.
And you'll fall through the tent. It'll be fine.
This is my chance to prove to my cousin Indiana Jones that I can be cool.
Yeah.
You run to the side of the building. Look, Indy, stairs, you cry. Maybe they lead up to the roof. Let's go, Indy yells. As you race up the narrow stone steps, the cries from the street below still echo off the low buildings. Out of breath, you reach the top and step out onto the roof. Standing there waiting to greet you is the biggest man you've ever seen. He must be 7 feet tall.
Whoa.
Oh, dang.
He's wearing a black caftan that billows around him like a circus tent. His powerful muscles bulge as he holds a concrete boulder over his black turbaned head. He rears it up to hurl it at you. Turn to page 48. Ooh, yeah. This is one thing that I always wish that our listeners could get is seeing the illustrations in these old books. Just look at the boldness of this illustration here.
Wow.
There's us in the background like, get him, Dr. Jones!
Yeah, the boulder that this guy is holding looks to be a solid maybe like 2.5 feet in diameter.
That's a big boulder.
All right, Indy ducks and plunges a fist into the huge man's stomach. The man doesn't seem to notice that he's been hit. Indy tries hitting him again. The giant stares back defiantly at Indy. He tilts his head back in triumphant laughter. Indy takes this opportunity to give him a shove. The man stumbles backward, loses his balance, and falls. The boulder drops away from him and crashes through the roof. We've got him now, Indy yells. He tosses you his pistol.
Oh!
Okay.
Wow.
What?
Yeah, so we're the ones who get to do the actual murdering in this book, it looks like.
This book is rated MA for mature audiences.
Keep this on him. He leaps onto the giant and tries to pin him to the roof. The huge man yells in protest, but Indy has the advantage now. Maybe you'd like to explain what's going on, Indy demands. He won't explain anything, Jones, a man's voice rasps behind you. Drop the gun, kid. You drop the gun. Oh,
Dang it.
Oh,
great.
Someone tells us to drop the gun, we just drop it. Okay, got it.
You know, it would be nice if in a choose-your-own-adventure book, if we had the option to choose whether we wanted to drop the gun or not, but I guess here we are.
At least we've already had a choice.
Yeah.
We've had one choice so far, which is much better than the most recent book that we read on the Hangout stream. All right, you drop the gun, you turn your head and see 3 men all in black robes, their faces covered with black scarves. They are holding pistols aimed right at you. You and Indy look at each other. You know by his expression that you both have the same idea, to escape by the only route available. You're going to leap off the roof and try to make it to the next rooftop. Turn to page 61.
One jump ahead of the dun.
You lower your head and run as fast as you can. You and Indy reach the edge of the roof at the same time. You jump onto the low concrete wall and prepare to jump, but there is one little problem. The next rooftop is 3 stories below.
Whoa.
Indy quickly turns away from the edge of the roof and grabs the huge man, who is still struggling to his feet. Get behind him, kid, Indy says, using the giants as a shield. We're walking away from here with him in front of us. They're not going to shoot their own man.
Oh.
Okay, I haven't read any further ahead. Do we think they're going to shoot their own man or not?
I mean, Raiders of the Lost Ark, he's like, shoots them both.
I'd say it's a safe bet that if Indy just said they won't, he's about to get shot.
Okay, I'll go along with you guys. You know the material much better than I. You get behind Indy and the huge protesting human shield. Oh, so this guy is audibly not happy about the situation. The three men in black robes stare angrily at you. They raise their pistols, turn to page 80, and fire. Yeah. The giant cries out in agony and slumps to the rooftop. Well, points to each of you, I suppose. Guess that wasn't one of my best theories, Indy says, watching as the three assailants close in. Any new theories, you ask? We can either fight or jump, Indy says flatly. Which do you choose? Fight them or jump down 3 stories to the next rooftop?
I mean, there's no way we can fight them. This is like the opposite where we have just a whip and they all have guns instead of them having the sword and us having a gun.
Yeah.
I say we jump. I say that's the smartest thing.
Okay, let's jump.
Indiana Jones he'll be fine.
Yeah, and we already dropped our gun. The only gun that we had is currently on the other side of the roof from us. Okay, we're going to jump. Turn to page 93. Without looking back, you leap off the roof. You drop down to the roof below. Safe, you tell yourself, but you've spoken to yourself too quickly. These old Egyptian roofs were not built to have people skydiving onto them. The roof breaks beneath your weight, and you crash through to the apartment below, which belongs to a rather distressed Cairo policeman.
Oh, no.
Skydiving out of the window.
It's phenomenally terrible. I can't remember the exact words. Anyway, go check out the video Skydiving by I Teach Vader on YouTube. It's wonderful.
It's beautiful.
There have always been strict laws for breaking and entering in Egypt. In ancient days, you might have had your hands cut off for the crime you just committed. But since this is your first offense, they go easy on you. You receive a prison term of only 500 years.
Oh, only.
Just think, sometime in the 2430s, you'll be able to finish this adventure. The end.
What?
Okay, well that was, as far as time to first ending, that was pretty quick, honestly. We've only made 2 decisions so far.
That was.
Okay, well, here's the thing about Indiana Jones is the only reason he's really alive is all dumb luck.
It's true.
Like, if you watch his movies, there's a lot of times where it's just like, it was just dumb luck. So we just did not have the Indiana Jones dumb luck. We thought too much.
Yeah, looks like we gotta fight him.
Yeah, let's go back to our last decision point. If you want to fight them, turn to page 11.
I think that's really funny that they just assume that Indiana Jones can't break out of a jail cell and he's just there for the next 500 years.
I know, it's like 500 years. He would have made it.
He's got plenty of time.
You know, that's an interesting point, actually, is it says that we jumped safely to the roof and ended up in jail for 500 years. Didn't technically say what happened to our cousin.
Yeah, he'll be fine, so it's okay.
He's the real hero of the story.
Yeah.
We're just an NPC.
I mean, he never talks about his cousin ever again, so maybe it's out of sight, out of mind.
That explains it for sure. All right, so we're fighting these guys. Indy waits until the men are only a few feet away. Then he leaps onto the nearest one, grabs his scarf, and spins him around with it. The man stumbles into his nearest companion, and the 2 men go sprawling to the ground. You pick up Indy's pistol from the spot where you dropped it, but the third man kicks it away from you. Indy plows into him, grabs his arm, and struggles to get his pistol. They wrestle to the ground, then roll over and over until they reach the edge of the roof. Indy, look out, you cry, seeing that they are both about to topple over the side. Indy and the robed man suddenly freeze. They seem to be looking behind you. You turn and see 4 men in uniform climbing onto the roof. More police! Great. One of them yells out something in Arabic. These 4 men are carrying pistols too. Cairo police guards, Indy yells, climbing to his feet. Do you take this opportunity to escape and let the police fight it out with the 3 robed men? Or do we think it would be wiser to stop and explain to the police that these men attacked you?
There's like a 500-year penalty, apparently. I say we run.
We have not had good experience with the Cairo Police Department up to this point.
I agree.
All right, escaping to page 31. The policemen seem confused. They cannot figure out what you are all doing on this rooftop. Then one of them spots the crumpled body of the huge man. Uh-oh, we're in for it now, Indy says. Don't wait, kid, and don't look. Just jump. You and Indy run to the edge of the roof and leap off.
Oh.
Okay, so we're getting to the same conclusion just by a little bit more of a circuitous manner, it seems.
It's all right, all the police are up here now, so it should be fine.
Yeah, that's right. The policeman whose apartment we would have landed in.
It's not down there anymore.
Yeah.
It's perfect. It's flawless. In the half second as you begin to fall, you realize that you've not jumped far enough to reach the roof of the next building.
Uh-oh.
You are about to plunge 5 stories to the street below. Turn to page 57.
Oh boy.
We're okay. We're okay.
It'll be fine.
Yep.
Thud, thud.
Ooh.
5 stories below, you land in an ox cart filled with wheat.
Yay! I knew it!
So we just Assassin's Creeded our way out of this situation. Look at that.
Oh, man.
In front of the cart, the farmer yells at his ox to speed up. He cannot understand why the poor ox has suddenly stopped. Get down, Indy whispers. The two of you bury yourselves deep in the wheat as bullets begin to whiz above your heads.
Wow.
A few moments later, the shooting has stopped. The farmer urges his ox on, not realizing that the load has grown somewhat heavier. He drives the cart right through the center of Cairo. When you are in front of the Cairo Museum, Indy climbs out of the wheat. "Well, get out here, driver," he calls. The farmer's too startled to talk as the two of you climb out of his cart. "Well, we've reached our destination," Indy says as the two of you begin to climb the steps to the museum. "That was easy, wasn't it?"
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, then the next sentence, the final sentence on the page just says, "Why are you in Cairo?"
No turning the page or anything?
Like, it tells us to turn to page 87, but I thought we knew why we were in Cairo. I thought we were here to find 2 mummies that had been stolen from the museum.
Is somebody else, is it in quotes? Is somebody asking, why are you in Cairo?
It is not in quotes. It is as if the book itself is asking us why we are in Cairo.
This is a self-help book, and it's asking you now, why are you in Cairo? Why are you in Cairo?
You might have come here for one reason, but after the experiences you've had so far, narrowly avoiding death, why are you really in Cairo?
We're going to turn to page 83, and Indiana Jones is going to be like, maybe I should stop stealing other people's treasure and putting them in museums. Maybe I should return them all.
A wonderful change of heart for our hero. All right, a few minutes later, you find yourself entering the plush, bookshelf-lined office of the curator of the Cairo Museum. "Come right in, Mr. Jones," says a tall, dark man with slicked back, straight black hair, a pencil mustache, and a thin-lipped grin.
That's Dr. Jones to you, buddy.
He comes out from behind his large mahogany desk. "I do not believe we have met. I am Dr. Omar Salam." Indy shakes hands with Dr. Salam and introduces you. Okay, so this guy is Doctor, but Indiana Jones is not Doctor.
I was gonna say this. I already don't like him. He's already has to establish some sort of hierarchy here. It's like, you are below me.
I mean, the pencil mustache, that's all of the evidence that we need that this guy is going to be bad news.
He's gonna be bad news.
Salam offers you chairs in front of his desk. "My old friend Marcus Brody from the National Museum wired me that you were coming, Jones."
Ooh, Marcus Brody.
Is that a guy actually from the movies?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
He is.
Yes.
Marcus Brody. He's the guy who's the principal or the dean or something, right?
Yep.
All right, so we're name-checking a famous person from the movies. "My old friend Marcus Brody from the National Museum wired me that you were coming, Jones." Again, not referring to us as Doctor. "Have you been visiting our farms, perchance?" Indy is puzzled at first. Then he realizes what Salam is talking about. "Oh, you mean this wheat?" Indy says, brushing a few grains off his shoulder onto Salam's plush red carpet. "No, we took a shortcut here. I am quite curious as to why you and your friend are here, Dr. Jones." Mr. Jones. Mr. Jones, he says.
See,
Mr.
he's doing it
Jones.
again.
"Please tell your story." But before Indy can begin, the door to Salam's office bursts open. Turn to page 62. "Oh, I'm sorry, Dr. Salam. I had no idea you had visitors." The intruder is a young blonde woman, dressed in a smart gray business suit and carrying a notepad. All right, let's vote. Is this our femme fatale for the book?
I mean, of course she is, but whether or not she stays on our side or she goes for the mummies, and I don't know, 'cause it's not really treasure we're looking for mummies.
Yeah, I guess. Is this femme fatale going to help us or hinder us more, do we think?
Or up to what point? I
Probably both.
I want to believe in the best of people, so I'm going to say she's going to help.
All right. Come in, Marla," Salam says, giving her the same thin-lipped smile he gave you in Indy. "I believe you will find Mr. Jones's story of interest. This is Marla Evans, my assistant," Salam says, turning to Indy. "She is an American, too." "I'm from Cincinnati," Miss Evans says, looking Indy up and down. His rumpled clothes covered with grains of wheat obviously do not impress her. "How exciting for you," Indy says sarcastically. He turns to Salam. "Can we get down to business? We're here on a rather urgent matter." Yes, yes, Salam says, pointing to a chair for Miss Evans. She pulls the chair as far away from Indy and you as possible and sits back down primly, her back as straight as the chair back. Dr. Salam, I'm here because 2 mummies were recently stolen from the National Museum, Indy says. He is interrupted by a loud crash. Turn to page 90.
It's a policeman. We get to arrest him now.
Man, the action just keeps going. Holy cow. Salam rushes to the office door and pulls it open. A servant is outside, bending over a tray of drinks that he has just dropped. Terribly sorry, Effendi, he says, shrugging his shoulders. Was he eavesdropping? Indy says suspiciously after Salam has closed the door again. I do not believe so, Salam replies quietly. He is a trusted menial. Continue, Jones. We have information that the 2 stolen mummies were brought to Egypt. We don't know why or by whom. Marcus Brody has asked me to find them and get them back for the National Museum. And why has this young person accompanied you? Salam asks, looking at you with a frown. My young cousin here was visiting me for the summer, so I brought him along. Marla Evans sneezes. Indy offers her his filthy handkerchief and she recoils in disgust. I believe I can be of help to you regarding the stolen mummies, Salam says, his face turning grim. I think you need to know about the cult of Ramar. Turn to page 104.
Ramar.
Yes, it's spelled with 2 more H's than you would expect it to be spelled with. The cult of Ramar, Indy asks in surprise. I know about that cult. It died out centuries ago. It has been revived, Salam says quietly, leaning forward on his desk. There are people, Jones, who run around in black robes and believe they can bring mummies back to life. They are people who... He never finishes his sentence. A bomb explodes under his desk.
Oh, dang.
Yeah, this book does not stop going. Holy cow.
Wow.
The explosion knocks you out of your chair. Your head hits the carpet with a thud. Everything goes dark. You struggle to regain your feet. The room is filled with smoke. Indy and Marla Evans are also struggling to their feet. Through the smoke and the wreckage of Salam's massive desk, you can see Salam lying motionless on the floor, bleeding. You hear footsteps. People are running away outside the office door. Do we chase after them? Or do we first see if we can help Salam? We'd better decide quickly, it says.
He's done for, guys. We got to catch those people.
Okay, yeah, let's do that.
Here's what I'm thinking. If we stay and try to save him and he dies on screen. But if we chase after these other people and he died off screen, and there's no guarantee that he's actually dead, am I right?
Yeah, that's true.
That's true.
I still haven't sold out the idea that maybe he's the bad guy.
Okay, let's go to page 95 and chase after these goons. You run to the office door and struggle to pull it open. Indy is right behind you. Let me try it, kid, he says. He turns the knob and pulls it with all his might. It's been secured from the outside, he says, giving up. We're locked in here. What's that hissing sound? Marla Evans asks, walking up behind you.
Oh, no.
You look down. Gas, you yell.
Oh.
Green gas is seeping into the room from under the door. We're trapped! Trapped! Marla cries in terror. Turn to page 64. The green gas is pouring quickly into the room now. You begin to cough and your eyes are burning. Indy tries the door again, pulling as hard as he can. It won't budge. The window, he yells, looking up at the small window high above Salam's shattered desk. The window is barred, Marla says. All of the windows in the museum are barred. We've got to try it anyway. Maybe we can break through, Indy says, holding his, again, filthy handkerchief over his nose and mouth. Dr. Salam, we've got to get him out too, you say. You look to see if Salam is moving. He has moved all right. He has completely disappeared.
See? He's still gonna die off screen.
Yeah.
No matter which one we chose, this is, again, the true villain of all these books is the illusion of choice. Indy, Salam, he's gone, you cry. Turn to page 36. All 3 of you stare at the spot where the wounded Salam had been lying. All that remains is a pool of blood. Kidnapped, Marla cries. She shudders. You can see that she is using all of her self-control to keep from getting hysterical. How could he have been kidnapped? No one came into this room, Indy says. Unless there's a trap door in here. He begins to search the wall and floor. We'll never find it in time, says Marla shakily. Let's try the window instead, you suggest, choking from the gas. Your eyes are burning so badly you can barely see. We have less than a minute, Indy says flatly. You wonder how he can be so calm. You must decide which way to try to escape. Do we look for a trapdoor or a secret exit in the wall, or do we try to escape through the window?
I want to say a trapdoor.
Same, trapdoor.
Because that's just how Spielberg writes his things. There's gonna be a random trapdoor because plot armor.
It would be much more exciting, that's for sure.
Also, random side question. When did we stop saying kidnapped and change it to abducted? Because this man's clearly a doctor. He was not kidnapped. He was abducted.
Yeah, clearly a doctor, and we clearly are not being respected as a doctor by this doctor.
Right.
All right, page 47. Desperately, Indy shoves away pieces of the wooden desk and searches the carpet for a trapdoor. You dash to the wall and begin to run your hands across it. The gas is thick and sour smelling. You cough and choke as you reach the nearest bookshelf. Your lungs feel ready to burst. You can't take another breath. The room begins to spin. You grab onto the bookshelf and hold yourself up, and a small door slides out of the wall.
Yeah.
Yes.
Quick, Indy, I found it, you manage to sputter. You stagger forward into the opening and find yourself in a dark tunnel. Indy is right behind you. Marla, this way, he calls. But it's dark in there, and filthy, and I'm a woman in a book that's being written in the 80s, so obviously I can't move the story forward at all.
Darkness or poison gas?
Alright, so blah 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 blah. But it's dark in there and filthy, she cries, choking and gasping for breath. Indy reaches through the small opening and pulls her in. The three of you stumble forward in the darkness. What is that fluttering noise coming toward you? Again, the page just ends with a question that the book is asking us, the reader. Why are you in Cairo? What is that fluttering noise coming towards you?
Bats.
It is bats.
Dang. You know what this author is saying before they say it. That's great.
R.L. Stine and I, we've got a connection here.
Fun fact, this book takes place before Temple of Doom.
Okay.
So this is before any of the movies.
Yes.
I was wondering, when it said 1934, I was like, I'm curious where that is in the movies. And apparently, I just looked it up. Apparently, Temple of Doom took place in 1935.
Okay.
And I looked it up. Indiana Jones got his doctorate in 1925.
Oh.
That's when he started teaching.
So he's been a doctor or professor for 10 years.
Yeah.
And our character does not appear in any of the films, so we definitely die in this book.
Ooh.
All right. Bats, Indy cries. You can barely make out the flapping wings of dozens of bats in the darkness of the narrow passage. If I weren't so terrified, I'd scream, Marla says, her voice a shaky whisper.
Boy.
Oh, boy. This sure is a very 80s book, isn't it? Okay, if I weren't so terrified, I'd scream, and then she screams. A bat has grabbed onto her shoulders. Its wide wings beat furiously around her head. Indy removes the bullwhip from his shoulder, holds it up in the air, and cracks it. The bat drops its hold on Marla. Indy cracks the whip again. The bats, highly sensitive to sound, flap a hasty retreat. The fluttering fades into the distance. They'll be back, Indy says. Marla has covered her face with her hands. I'm so embarrassed that I screamed, she says.
Oh, boy.
Oh, wonderful. We don't have time to be embarrassed. If we're going to catch up to whoever kidnapped Salam and locked us in the office, we gotta get moving, Indy says. Maybe the gas is gone. Maybe we can go back through the office, you say, thinking of the bats that await ahead in the darkness. You must decide which way to go. Do we keep moving forward, or do we get out of the dark tunnel and go back to the office?
I mean, keep moving forward.
Forward.
Walt Disney said, keep moving forward.
Yes, Walt Disney, the current owner of the Indiana Jones franchise.
Mm-hmm.
All right, turn to page 27. The three of you hurry through the dark passage. You keep listening for the bats to return, but they seem to have retreated to a different area of the museum. Did Dr. Slom ever mention this passage to you? Indy asks Marla. No, never, she replies. Who else would know this museum well enough to know about it? Indy asks. I don't know, she answers, struggling to keep up. What about the cult you mentioned? You ask. Oh, what about the cult you mentioned? You ask. The cult of Ramar believed that they could bring mummies back to life. But that was 1,000 years ago, says Indy. Gosh, I'm getting all the characters wrong, says Indy, as you make your way through the darkness. Could they do it? I'd be real surprised, Indy said. I'm even more surprised that people are falling for that nonsense all over again in 1934. But it would explain why the mummies were stolen from your museum back home, Marla says. To be brought back to life? Indy smiles, but his smile is cut short. All three of you discover at once that the narrow passage ends at a solid wall. There is no exit. Turn to page 5. Once again, the illusion of choice.
I say this book would be infinitely better if we run into Rick O'Connell, or whatever his name is, from The Mummy.
Ooh, a nice Brendan Fraser cameo would be very appreciated in this book.
Yes.
Indy feels around on the cold, wet wall until he finds a lever. He pulls it, and a door slowly creaks open. The three of you burst through it at once. You find yourselves in a vast, dimly lit room of marble floors and walls, filled with glass display cases and ancient stone mummy cases. We're in the mummy room, Marla Evans says in surprise. And look, a mummy has been stolen from that sarcophagus. There's a trail of blood on the floor, you say. They must have carried Salam through here. The bombing and locking us in the office were all part of their plot to steal a mummy, Indy says, searching the room for other clues. What I don't understand is why are they dragging Salam along with them? Another mummy is missing, Marla says. I can't believe it. 2 of them. They're worth millions. Because obviously the monetary value of these mummies is the only thing that we should be caring about right now.
Also an 80s thing.
Also an 80s thing.
Yeah.
Oh, boy. A relic of its time.
Yep.
They'll be worth more when they're alive, you comment. Indy frowns at you. Not funny, kid. And then we instantly shrivel into just a ball of dust and blow away because Indiana Jones did not like our joke.
Yeah.
The three of you follow the trail of blood past row after row of dark mummy cases into the next room. The ancient weapons room. Okay.
Ooh.
The walls are lined with metal spears. Two men in long black robes and black turbans are standing across the room. When they see you enter, they each pick up one of the ancient spears from a display case and charge toward you, screaming angrily as they attack. Turn to page 38. You grab one of the ancient spears from the wall and toss it to Indy. Marla backs into a corner, almost tumbling into the empty mummy sarcophagus as Indy charges. You look away as you hear the clang of spear against ancient spear. When you look back, one of the black-robed men is on the floor writhing in pain. Indy leaps over him and prepares to deal with the other attacker. The two men struggle, plunging their ancient weapons at each other until Indy's spear breaks in two. Turn to page 66. What is Indiana Jones's body count like in the films?
It's definitely it's funny because it's the first one's PG and I think the second one is too before they get to PG-13, but like pre-Matrix, like gun violence and death was not a big problem. So I think I don't know, what do you think the body count is?
It's a good question. A lot of Nazis go down.
A lot of Nazis go down, but he usually punches them and stuff.
Yeah, there's a lot of indirect death.
Yeah, so I don't think that's that high till the end of the movie.
Well, thus far in this book, we have definitely killed one man with a spear, or Indiana Jones has. We are not Indiana. We could not dare hope to be Indiana Jones himself. We have to be his nameless cousin.
Hey guys, I just looked it up. Raiders of the Lost Ark, Indy's kill count is 11. Temple of Doom, 21. Last Crusade, 16.
Really?
Crystal Skull, 12. And Dial of Destiny, 13.
Huh.
Still lethal, even in his twilight years. You try to throw him another spear, but you cannot get it out of the display case. The black-robed man attacks furiously, and holding the spear at either end, pins Indy to the floor. He begins to press the spear down on Indy's neck, suffocating him. You leap onto the attacker's back and struggle to pull him off Indy, but he is too strong. He swats you away with a powerful swing of his arm. You fall backward. Indy struggles to get out from under the spear, but he cannot. You pick yourself up and prepare to leap onto the black-robed attacker again, just as two Cairo policemen run into the room. The attacker loosens his grip on the spear long enough for Indy to scramble away. Okay, so now the policemen are on our side, hopefully. The policemen pull out pistols and call out something that sounds like freeze in Arabic. They must have heard the explosion, Indy croaks, his throat carrying the spear mark emblazoned in red. What do you do now? Keep fighting and hope that the two policemen will come to your aid, or take this opportunity to try to escape?
That's a hard one because, like, I want to say keep fighting, but the policemen aren't going to help us out. They're going to just put us in jail for 500 years.
That does seem to be their MO for sure.
I kind of want to keep fighting as well and see what happens.
All right.
Okay.
Keep fighting and turn to page 92. Indy yells something in Arabic to the two policemen and leaps at the black-robed man. The man ducks away and Indy hits the marble floor. He shakes his head, a bit dazed. But before he can recover, two gunshots ring out. The policemen cry out and drop to their knees. They have been shot from behind. Without looking back, the black-robed man runs past them and through the door from which the shots were fired.
Ooh.
Come on, after him, Indy calls, pulling himself to his feet. I'm a journalist, Marla protests. I don't chase people. Well, other journalists chase people in other movies.
Do you want the story or not?
But she follows you as you run after the black-robed man. You reach the back exit of the museum. Stand back, Indy warns, motioning you back with his hand. There are a lot of them, all in black robes. I can't see Salam. They must have him, though. They're piling into a truck. Let's not stand here. Let's go, you cry. Wait just a moment, Indy says, watching them from the doorway. Give them a chance to get into their truck. You wait a few more seconds, your heart pounding. Okay, run, Indy yells. The three of you begin to run toward the truck as it pulls away. Grab onto the back. Let's go for a ride, Indy yells. Can you do it? Why are you in Cairo? What is that fluttering noise? Can you do it?
I'm telling you, it's a self-help book. You have to really, like, this is the part where we're supposed to put the book down and reflect on our decisions.
Can we, we've witnessed our cousin kill a man with his bare hands. Can we do this? As just a young flat cap wearing teenager, do we feel like we've got it in us to kill another human being?
Well, wasn't this just take a ride?
But it's deeper than that. It's about interrogating what lengths you are willing to go to reclaim these mummies that were stolen back to the place that they were originally stolen from.
I know, we can't have that.
But they're worth millions.
They're worth millions.
Millions. Indy reaches the truck first. He grabs the handle on the back door and pulls himself up onto the rear bumper. Then he reaches a hand out toward you. You grab it and jump as hard as you can. Your feet hit the bumper. You both grab on a rack on top of the truck and hold on for dear life. Marla is running hard toward the truck. Indy stretches a hand towards her. She reaches for it, and of course, because she is a woman in an 80s book, she falls, and the truck picks up speed and she's left behind.
Aww.
Well, okay, I don't know if we're ever going to see this character again for the rest of the book.
She'll swoop in at the end somehow.
Yeah.
I mean, I hope so, because both of our predictions, is she going to help us or is she going to hinder us? So far, neither of them have been true.
Yeah.
She's just kind of...
Been there.
That was a good try, Indy says with admiration. She's got spirit. She just doesn't know it. I hope she'll be okay.
Indy, don't fall for this girl. She's not worth it.
In a few minutes, the city disappears behind you. Soon, you are surrounded by yellow sand. Look over there, Indy says, pointing. See that strip of dark blue on the horizon? You see it, a shimmering line of blue against the yellow sand. That's the Nile, right out of the history books, Indy says. Oh, the Nile, like the river. You don't say. You might be lucky enough to see the river flood. It's a few weeks overdue. Supposed to be quite a sight. How can Indy talk so calmly, we asked for the second time in this book. The truck bumps across the desert. You hold on tightly, ignoring the pain in your arms, worrying what will happen when the truck stops. Turn to page 55. The truck stops suddenly. You jump down and look for cover. Wow, you cry. You are standing in the shadow of a tall brick pyramid. Yeah, just like in the history books, Indy says, just like the Nile.
He's really working hard so that he can tell his cousin's parents that this trip was educational.
Oh, of course.
This is like, he's like, oh crap, I'm going to be in it real bad with my sister. This is educational, though.
Yeah, just like the history books.
This is educational, what we're doing here.
Yeah, at the airport, he's like, all right, kid, how many people did you see me kill? None, Uncle Indy. Oh, boy. The truck doors are opening. You cannot find a place to hide. Should you duck under the truck and hope you won't be seen, or do we make a dash for the pyramid and hope there's a place to hide inside?
I'm going to say dash for that pyramid.
Yeah, we got to go in.
All right, run to the pyramid, page 94. Keep down low, kid, Indy whispers, and run straight to the entrance. Maybe they won't see us. You want to ask, what do we do once we're inside? But there's no time for discussing plans. You lean low in the shadow of the truck and take a deep breath. Then, in a sudden burst of speed, digging your feet deep into the sand, you run straight toward the entrance. Indy is a few paces ahead. Neither of you looks back to see if you've been spotted. The low opening on the side of the pyramid is just a few yards ahead of you now. 10 more seconds, and you'll enter the safety of its darkness. Hey! Yells a voice behind you, and then the loud, angry voice calls out something in Arabic. You've been spotted. Turn to page 10. You reach the pyramid entrance and run inside. It is hot, musty, and dark. Now you turn and look to the truck to see if you're being followed. You're not. The man you heard yelling was upset because one of the mummies was dropped from the truck. Oh, okay.
Nice.
Oh, we're okay.
We succeeded our stealth check. Look at that. We watched the black-robed men struggle to remove the second mummy. We can't stand here sightseeing, kid, Indy says. We've got to find a good hiding place in here until we can figure out what to do with these clowns. Your eyes are slowly adjusting to the darkness. There are torches lining the walls of the entrance chamber, and on the far wall you can make out 3 doorways. Which way do we go? You ask Indy, still trying to catch your breath from your dash into the pyramid. Pick a doorway, Indy says. Maybe we'll get lucky. Which one do we choose? The left, the middle, or the right?
I'm going to say, because I did listen to the Sonic one before I did this, I think we're supposed to always choose left.
Gotta go left.
Yeah, I think that was the general consensus from the last one, is you always have to go left.
You have learned well, Jay. You gotta go left.
All right, let's do it.
All right, turn to page 28. You each grab a torch and make your way into a dark chamber on the left. You hear a curious scratching sound. You walk close together in a straight line. This chamber has got to lead somewhere, Indy says, although his voice is not exactly confident. What's that scratching sound? You ask. You feel something crackly under your shoes. You hold your torches down to the floor. What do we think it is?
Bones.
Oh, it's scorpions.
Oh,
Scorpions!
yeah, scorpions.
Bats and scorpions. Hundreds of them crawl along the floor. Yeah. The cult members must have put them here to keep out intruders. Their sting can be deadly, you say, standing on tiptoes. I read about them in a science book. Indy's just like, good job, kid. Proud of you.
Just like the science books.
Yeah, remember to tell your mom that.
This has been a very educational experience for you. Well, here they are in person, Indy said dryly. You said this trip was going to be educational. Oh, see?
Yeah,
See? It's in the book. He holds his torch up high. There's a low beam up there, he says. Maybe I can loop my whip around it and we can swing ourselves out of here. Why don't we just use our torches to burn a path back, you suggest? The scorpions will get out of our way, maybe. A A scorpion at your feet attempts to sting. It stings your shoe. You jump away. What do? Do we swing out of the chamber on the whip, or do we use the torches to burn our way out?
I've been speaking a lot, but I feel like we go with what Indiana Jones says.
We gotta get some whip action, I think.
Yeah.
I'm down. Let's do it.
We've only seen like one instance of whip tricks so far in this book, and we need more whip, I say.
Yes.
I got a fever.
I got a fever.
The only prescription is more bullwhip. Turn to page 45. Ouch. Ouch! The whip wasn't strong enough to carry you both at once.
Uh-oh.
Why didn't you go one at a time? You both fall back onto the floor and ouch! Those scorpions don't seem glad you dropped in. Ouch! This adventure has come to a painful conclusion. The Pyramid of Ramar will hold its ancient secrets, it appears, until the next time you open the book. The end.
Aww.
Wow.
Indy.
Death by scorpions.
Ugh.
Yep.
Well, we got surprisingly, like, considering the fact that we got our first ending in only 2 choices, this time we made it like a solid 10 before we died by scorpions. So
Pretty good.
that's a pretty good run if you ask me.
All right, let's burn them away this time.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's get those torches and we'll do the boring non-Indiana Jonesy sort of thing. You stand side by side and lower your torches to the floor. At first, the scorpions don't seem to notice. You take a step forward. A scorpion crunches under your foot. The scorpions beneath the flame of your torch scurry backward. You take another step, keeping the torch flame in front of you on the floor. The scorpions are clearing a path. The torches are keeping them back. Just a few more steps, and you'll be back at the entranceway. Snap! A scorpion snaps its tail toward you, attempting a venomous sting from behind. It misses you by less than half an inch. You've made it! You're back in the entrance chamber. The black-robed men carrying the stolen mummies are about to enter the pyramid.
I just realized that this is literally a part in the video game.
Oh.
Why didn't I think about it? Use the torch to get the scorpions to go away.
Okay, so the developers of Indiana Jones and the Great Circle must have been doing their research.
Yes, they did their research really well, used all the material.
Yeah, in 1985's Indiana Jones and the Cult of the Mummy's Crypt. The most serious of all of the canon.
Yeah.
Okay, we still have 2 doorways left to explore. Which will we choose? The one in the middle or the one on the right? Quick, make your choice before you are spotted.
We don't have a left.
No, we don't have a left.
We already went left.
But if we're going by that logic, we're going to the middle because that's left of the right.
That's the new left. Okay, gotta go as left as we can go.
Yeah.
Page 39. There are footsteps behind you. You have no time to hesitate. The 2 of you walk quickly through the middle doorway. It leads into a long, winding tunnel. The tunnel is completely dark, but you and Indy have taken torches from the entrance chamber. Yes, we know that. We used the torches to kill the scorpion.
They had to establish that, though, because we could have skipped that whole scorpion room.
That's true.
We could have just gone in this door to begin with.
That's good thinking. You have the mind of a person who writes choose-your-own-adventure books.
I mean, we already know he has the mind of R.L. Stine. Apparently, he knows he knows his book. I say he cheated. He read this book before we got on the podcast.
Oh.
I did not.
And Dr. Salam, or whatever his name was, definitely isn't the bad guy.
Yeah.
Let's see. This is creepy, you tell Indy. It's supposed to be creepy, Indy says. The pharaohs who built these pyramids didn't want people walking around in them. They wanted to be left alone for eternity. What are those footsteps you hear behind you? What's that fluttering noise ahead? Can you do this? Don't be afraid, kid, Indy says. It was only a rat. Oh, we got our answer. Only a rat? Question mark, exclamation point. Turn to page 71.
Apparently, this kid's really afraid of rats.
Apparently. The narrow tunnel leads down into a low chamber. The flame of your torch grows smaller. You keep following the wall to your right. You find yourself in another narrow tunnel. It leads down and then up again. I'm sure we'll come to their headquarters soon, you say to Indy. You are trying to reassure yourself. See, this is a self-help book. Self-reassurance.
It is.
Indy frowns and keeps walking, and we once again shrivel into a ball of dust at Indiana Jones's disapproval. Turn to page 88.
And we take 10 points of psychic damage.
The tunnel leads to a large, empty chamber. Another rat scurries in front of your feet. We scream and we turn into a ball of dust because we're so afraid of rats. You keep walking into another winding tunnel. The light of your torch grows even dimmer. The pharaohs feared that their tombs would be looted, Indy says quietly as you walk. Sometimes they built endless mazes into their pyramids. They wanted trespassers to get lost in the endless maze so that the sacred burial chamber with all its treasures would not be violated. have you and Indy been unlucky enough to walk into an endless maze?
Have we?
Have we? Let's find out on page 71.
You listeners at home, pause and discuss among yourselves.
Have you, just look at where you are in your life. Have you been trapped in an endless maze?
Such a topical book.
Page 71. The narrow tunnel leads down into a low chamber. Wait a second. Wait a second. Wait a second. Is this the page we were just on? Turn to page 88. Okay, it just goes endlessly back and forth between page 88 and page 71.
Oh, so the scorpions are gonna come?
No, it literally just goes back and forth between those two same exact pages.
So it's an endless maze.
Yeah.
Listener, have you found yourself in an endless maze, just like Indiana Jones and his cousin? Well, shoot. Yeah, we don't even get the dignity of having a game over. We just go back and forth endlessly between these two pages for the rest of our lives.
That's kind of fun, though.
Yeah?
I kind of like that.
Oh, man. I mean, it's a lot more succinct than the way that the Sonic books handled the mazes, and I am grateful for that. Those were rough. Okay, well, shoot. Turns out going left has failed us in both instances.
So we gotta go right.
Who'da thunk?
I feel so betrayed. Yeah. But, I mean, Indiana Jones and Sonic, when you just, look at the two characters, I suppose it makes sense that Indy would choose the right path and Sonic would not choose the right path.
Yeah.
Okay, so we're going to go through the doorway on the right. Turn to page 53. Well, folks, it looks like trusting in the wisdom of Sonic the Hedgehog has let us down. Who would have thunk? And now I am full of regrets. The number one regret being that I tried to shoehorn in that SNL reference when making a reference to the Devo song Whip It would have been much more contextually appropriate. In any case, we have the rest of this book waiting for you next time we come back. But for now, thanks for listening. I've been Ned Wilcock, your host and person who reads too many words. Much love and stuff. We'll catch you next time on Improv Tabletop.
You at least gotta watch Raiders of the Lost Ark and The Last Crusade. You can skip the others.
Oh, come on. What about The Dial of Destiny? I heard that got such great reviews.
I'm weird. I actually thought it was okay.
It wasn't as bad as I thought it was going to be.
Yeah, I was going to say, especially because, he's 80 years old, and you're just like, okay, but I still enjoyed it. I still thought it was great. I even thought Kingdom of the Crystal Skull was fine, and everybody's, telling me how much to hate it. I'm like, I thought it was all right. Aliens were weird, but it's still...
Shia LaBeouf is weird.
Yeah, Shia LaBeouf is weird, but it still felt fun. It was fine.
It was a weird casting choice.
But yes, at the end of the day, Raiders of the Lost Ark is the best Indiana Jones in my mind, but close second is Last Crusade.
Yeah. Ned, just skip Temple of Doom. It's got some very iconic moments, but it's...
Is Temple of Doom the Kali Ma one?
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay.
Don't go to that one as this is what Indiana Jones is. No.
No.
See the other two first.
Okay.
Just skip it.
Yeah.